Jai Shri Ram. Hello friends, welcome to Chitra Astrology YouTube channel. As you know that on Tuesdays I share some part of my knowledge which is basically free for all the viewers who happens to visit or who are waiting for new video at Chitra Astrology YouTube channel. Today I am going to talk about something about education. As you know that in Vedic astrology, if we have to see the scope of education or if we want to judge the education from the Rashi chart, we need to see the fourth house, fifth house, and ninth house. Similarly, we have to give a due weightage to the fourth lord and ninth lord. And the karka of the education are basically Jupiter and Mercury. This way, we get a fair idea. And I used to predict based on these parameters. But during the process of learning, as I grow and started implementing D-24 chart, that is Chaturvimshamsha chart, it can indicate the whole learning, or you can say the in detail chart of your education life. From here, if you develop that skill, you can pinpoint the bachelor's or starting from the school education to bachelor to master's, and master to research or post, or you can say doctorate education. But for that, you need to have some basic fundamentals clear, just like there are some deities assigned to the particular degrees, or you can say part of the divisional chart. In the 24 chart also, there are 12 different deities who control that chart. As you know that in D24 chart, that every house, or you can say every sign, has to be divided into 24 equal parts. If you go for 24 equal parts, and that means you divide 30° into 24 equal parts, each part is going to be 1 degree 15 minutes. That means if 12 deities are there and you have to make 24 different parts, that is the set of these deities or is going to be there. Two times they will repeat it. You can say they two times they will repeat. Say for example, if 0 to 1 degree 15 minutes, there is a second deity who has been assigned this degree. That deity will repeat himself after, you can say, half of the chart. That means 13th part. Similarly, if next one is there, the second deity will repeat himself into the 14th part. That means that is basically related to, you can say, Parshudhar, or you can say Parshuram. Similarly, there is Anala, then Vishkarma, and then Bhaga, and sixth one is the Mitra, seventh is the Maya, eighth is the Antaka, or ninth is the Varshudavaja, or 10th is the Govinda, 11th is the Madan, and 12th is the Bhima. Why I'm saying like that? Say, for example, in today's chart, I will explain that concept also, because D24 chart is the minute chart for the education. Say, for example, if your ascendant is rising at a particular degree and D24 ascendant has to rise again, depending upon whether your Rashi chart ascendant is even or odd, that cycle will repeat. In case of odd signs, it start from the, you can say, starting from the Cancer, Leo, something like that in a forward direction. And in case of the even sign ascendant, it will repeat himself in the reverse order. If making that uh, uh, education more simple, we need to consider an example. And that example I'm going to take is of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Now, in this chart, if we go from the Rashi chart itself and see the different educations obtained by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, it's slightly not that much clear, or you can say in a bigger way, it's not that much give detailed insight about the his education. Say, for example, school level education has to be seen from the fourth house. Here in fourth house, this Kulika is there. The Lord of it is again with the Ketu, but in the fifth house, that is Mercury and Sun is with Ketu in the fifth house. These two houses are more prominent to decide about the subjects, because school level education from the fourth, it shows that there is a struggle up to the that education. But once that school education has over, then the native is going to decide the subject based on the either Ketu, Mercury, and Sun combination. Here, Mercury becomes more prominent, but Mercury is in the basically Chitra Nakshatra, and Chitra Nakshatra is of Mars. That means somewhere, and association of Sun, which is again is in Chitra Nakshatra, this Mars can give subjects like of applied nature. That means applied physics, mathematic calculation type of subjects, because Ketu is also there. This native has done first completed his bachelor's in physics. Once he's completed that bachelor's in physics, then again second degree he has done in the aeronautical engineering. Then thereafter he joined some institute, and from there he obtained some master degrees or some PhDs that cannot be prominently seen from that chart, because for higher education or master degree from the Rashi chart, we need to see the ninth house. Ninth house Lord is Saturn. It is going into the research. That means his master degree may be part of his research. It is not directly a master degree, but it has to be a part of research. Some people do integrated PhDs that will also include you can say masters and PhD combinations. And some people who work in the research organizations, they do that type of professional work and submit to dissertation or thesis to get the masters and the PhD. This might be happened with also with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. But here, that part is not very much clear. But if you look from the D-24 chart, this part, whatever I am saying, becomes more prominent or more clear. Because in D-24 chart, you have to first see the ascendant, in which ascendant or which degree the divisional chart is rising, and who is going to be the Lord. That type of education or that type of knowledge is going to help that native. It comes under Mitra lordship, which is a basically indicator of friend, honesty, contracts, meetings. It helps to maintain law and order. God of oath, that means whatever promise you are going to make that will it will help you to achieve that. Overall, it stands for counselor, coordinators, or ambassadors. That type of things will help in your overall education system. Actually, that happens in Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam life also. Now, to talk about more in detail about the education, first we have to see the ascendant. Ascendant is Virgo, and its Lord Mercury directly goes into the eighth house. Here, ascendant has no malefic effect because Jupiter and Saturn are expecting from the seventh house that ascendant can have overall okay. That means the ascendant is strong, that native has desire to grow or obtain as much as possible education. But being ascendant in eighth house with Rahu Ketu, some people say there is less chance of getting education. But what I say, if the people have a proper energy utilization, eighth house is the house of research. Eighth house is the house of technical subjects. If ascendant lord is there in Rahu Ketu, Rahu is basically head. That means everything will be calculations or mind. Lot of mind thing will be applied, and this Mercury Lord of that ascendant being there, that means the native can do lot of calculation, mind calculation, if he choose the subjects which are research based, or you can say practical application based. This is the eighth house. And eighth, the ascendant is no doubt slightly not in a comfortable position. That's why the native has a desire, but ascendant being in uncomfortable position with the malefic planets, the education is not going to be that much easy for that native. Now, when we talk about the starting of the education, that has to be seen from the fourth house in D-24 chart, and Jupiter being Lord here, that means with that planet is with Jupiter, Saturn, and Saturn 10th aspect will be on the fourth house. That means the school level education will be difficult. But from fourth house, if we take sixth position ahead, that sixth position ahead becomes ninth house, and here Sun and Mars, it's directly indicate in Venus sign that the native is going to have a science background or mathematical or applied engineering type of subjects, which is very much clear. This Venus indicates something aerospace or aeronautical, you can say aircraft, or you can say luxury, or the fine um, application of the engineering. That 2 degrees of MSc, BSc physics, BSc with specialization in physics and aeronautical engineering, we can see it from here. From the ninth house, if we take further sixth house to know about the master's degree, here Venus is with moon, that means it seems change of area. Moon normally change the area of the study. But being with Venus and Moon and in Saturn sign, obviously the education or master degrees will not that much be easy for that. But the aspect of Mercury and in Rahu Ketu axis, he will take longer time to do masters, but he will able to complete it, or through research, he will only able to complete masters. But from the second house, if we take further sixth house, that is the, you can say, PhDs, or you can say research part, if we have to see it. Jupiter being Lord of seventh house with Saturn, it becomes prominent for this native. I don't know how many PhDs he has obtained after submitting the thesis, but when I searched the social platform, I found 48 different universities have awarded him PhDs, postdoctoral, or you can say doctorate degree. These are, I am surprised to see in Indian culture. First, I found maximum degree from the Dr. Ratan Tata chart, but there are limitation in 20s. His PhDs are in 20s. But when I search, as I grow in astrology, I found 48 different PhDs, and that too technical and professional degrees is not an easy. And it only happens due to the Lord, which is basically Mitra by nature, or by, you can say, um, skills, because this Lord indicates counselor, coordinators, administrator, ambassadors characteristic. Yeah, whatever he is going to achieve in his life throughout education, he is going to use for the benefit of the society. Just like we feel comfortable in a company of our friends. I hope you will enjoy this video, and if you like this video, please subscribe the channel, share video among your friends, and please do provide your feedback. Jai Shri Ram.